have quite the update to do, considering I haven't uploaded in forever. And I really want to keep this YouTube thing going, but I really haven't had much motivation. And this is pretty much why. So, it doesn't look like much up here because it's so green. Once it turns closer to fall, it'll clear out a lot and you'll be able to see all the buildings. But somebody finally got a new place to call home after what, 16, 17 years of living in the same house. My parents finally got the opportunity of a lifetime to move into right next door. That greenhouse down there, that used to be my dad's. And now we got the opportunity to get this place. We got my workshop down in there. Can't really see it, I'll show you in a minute. You got the main house, which has a chimney there. Roof needs redone still. Got to get that done before winter. There's a little like snowmobile shed, little tractor shed thing, whatever you want to call it, right there behind this big ass bush. Maybe if I move over here you'll be able to see it better. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, this place is awesome because we got this giant shale bank here that just goes up probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 stories, maybe 6. And it's really steep because it washed out. So I'm pretty much not even on like solid ground right here because it caves in. And it's just awesome because there's a place that I own that I can kind of climb. It's not really the best for climbing, but you can come up here and just enjoy the view for hours. We got a little bit of woodland here, all the way back to this stone row. And then it goes up probably another 100 yards from here, give or take. So we own all this little chunk of beautiful mountain ground with delicious mushrooms growing all over it. I just found this one. It's a nice little cluster that started growing. You usually don't find them in clusters like this, at least out in the wild. At least I haven't. But yeah, this place is amazing. The main driveway is right there. That's like the garage. And I'm going to go down after I go up and show you guys pretty much the buildings and what contains them, what shape they're in, what it's going to take to get them back into proper working order. There's all kinds of mushrooms up here though, I love it. That's my favorite part about it. We get woods to ride, dirt bike, find mushrooms, all to ourselves. This was like a little logging trail. Went up there, and there's another trail up there and a little camp, but it's completely deteriorated, so it's not going to go anywhere. Not many people are up here, so it's not like we have too many people to worry about. Just a couple hunters during hunting season, that's about it. Yeah, this is the top pretty much, just a nice little almost clearing. It's not very vegetative, I guess you could say. It's more or less just mossy and little shrubs here and there. Most of it's just trees though. Some nice good hardwood trees too. But I'll catch back up to you down and I'll show you around. So here's the back side of the shed. This is where I'm gonna have a little dirt bike track. Just a very tiny one, pretty much just for something to play around on when I'm bored. This is just like a little hill climb / jump eventually. And you got a nice down sweeping turn, and it comes up over here and you got 2 berms to ride, and it's gonna come back here Probably gonna clear most of this all out. Try to dig as much of that back as we can. This tree's dead, so we're gonna have to figure out how to drop that without dropping it on my shed. But you can see where it like goes back and then it comes out here. I'm assuming that's just where the shale bank collapsed before, and it's supposed to look more like this. I don't know exactly. And it just all washed out over time. Really turns into a stream right here, especially when it like downpours. The water has nowhere to go. It just piles up here and then whooshes down there, and my whole trail turns into a waterfall. I guess it could be fun if you're into that type of stuff, but I don't really like it ripping up my trail that much. So we're gonna have to figure something out with that. This place is awesome though. There's just berries and fruit trees and all kinds of goodies. You could live up here and not starve to death. Yeah, this is the shale bank. This is where we were just standing up on top of. Whole lot of shale. But at least we have plenty of stone to fill potholes and repair the driveway when it gets washed out. So we'll be set for that. And then giant bonfire burn pile. That's been used probably 6 or 9 times, give or take. We just had a really big one when we pulled. There was a shed right here. You can see where it's all open. There was a shed that came out, and it's all bare. You can see it came out to where that grass ends. And then it was completely falling apart. Shut the fuck up. It was falling apart. We had to do something with it because there's no way you could fix it. So we just tore her down, pushed her over here, lit her on fire. Easiest way to do it. Alright, so this is the shop. It's got lean-to on this side and an enclosed lean-to on this side. This one was enclosed, but I opened the back up so lets fresh air breathe through it. It was pretty musky in here. All the water would just build up along the side of the shed. That's why it's like completely rotted at the bottom. So that's what I've been doing, trying to fix as much water damage and bug rot, or bug damage and water rot, and fix the roof, retard it. I retard it. But yeah, this really wasn't anything but like storage. There was 2 racks here that had a bunch of wood on them. Pretty much all the wood was like this, all dry rotted and cracked up, pretty much useless. There's a couple decent boards, and then there was these galvanized chimney stacks. I guess that's what you call them. Bunch of them. Probably don't need them anymore, so I don't know. Probably just scrap them. And then this is where the shed was. I just pretty much chopped it, left a little bit of an overhang so the rain doesn't get in as much. Even though it's clear, it's just gonna wash pretty much in here. So I tried digging like a drain so it comes out here, and then eventually I'll have a drain going out there. So this tractor was here. It didn't run. I had to do a couple things to get that working, and it's pretty much just been like the beater tractor. Got the mower working. It needed new belts. Pretty much basic shit, nothing too major. Cart was here, that was nice. We had the exact same one before, and now it's a log splitter. But yeah, it's really cool to have another one of them because we use that all the time. Very handy carts. And here, it's pretty much just gonna be like my bike storage. gonna have to fix this door. I haven't got to that yet. Got my weed eater and my push mower and the old tractor that this one came with the house too. Old Cub Cadet 1415. I got it running, but it needs a new engine cover because that's not the original one. That's off of Craftsman. Need a engine cover, intake, air filter, battery. Gotta fix the PTO switch because these things have like an electric PTO. That's what basically drives it. Kind of overcomplicated if you ask me, and a pain in the ass to figure out, but it's really not too bad. Kind of simple, but just not really necessary. And then more wood storage. It's not the best right now because I put new hinges on the doors so they don't shut separately. You have to shut them together, but it's a temporary door for right now. I'm not really too happy with how they turned out. Just something to get me by until winter's over, or till I feel like doing new ones. But basically I had to take all that out. It was basically nothing there. This whole thing's just a pole barn, so there's really no structure to it. It's just sitting there on top. Everything's holding itself together. So rebuilt that, framed the wall section there, used the old walling as the exterior wall, and then put this door here. I did have another door, and that door was, I think, too big. It was either too big or just didn't look right. I forget the main reason. I know it was like one of those like really old school ones with individual glass panes that have like a crank and they can all like go up, kind of like a louver. Yeah, just like one of those really old school trailer doors or something. Still pretty heavy duty. It was heavy as crap actually, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I got this one that was just laying up at the house. When we took the other one out, my dad was helping me put this one in, and the old door fell right on top of him. He smashed through all those glass panes and pretty much went away unscathed other than a couple cuts, but that door was heavy as fuck. If it would have fallen on him, he probably would have been knocked out cold. So then I built these doors. They're pretty shitty. Not really much to them, but they work. Had to frame the wall over here. This wall is pretty much how all the walls were. No studs, just boards going across the top and the bottom, and there's just like random pieces. They're not even like full fucking length sections of wood. It's literally just like they put one sheet up, another sheet up, another sheet up, put a window there, another sheet up. They're all just like stuck together with like what, 14 inches? Oh, that's a little more than 14, like 24 inches. So I still have to redo this one and that one eventually, but I might not. I mean, if I can get away with it, it should be fine. We'll see how good it is in the winter though, because it might not be the most thermal efficient, I guess is the right wording. I mean, clearly there's like gaps coming through. That other side's completely unsealed. It's just, well, not completely unsealed, but barely sealed. Over here, not really much to talk about. Just where I keep all my tools, all my hardware, and random doojabs that were left behind in the house. Toolbox was left behind. Got some organizers and stuff for it. Most of the tools were already here. I didn't bring any of mine over yet. Alright, so this is kind of how it was. The shelf was full of miscellaneous stuff. This whole shop was full of miscellaneous stuff. What was I saying? I should have started there. Don't mind that yet. So this whole shop, this whole side was full of junk. This whole side was just cluttered with junk. The entire back here had tables just like this. This is one of them. I just relocated over here. But they were all built into the wall, so I had to rebuild the whole thing. But table went the whole way around. And then this dresser was hanging up top here. So I took that down. Took all the tables out. Burnt 2 of them. Recycled 1 of them. Recycled the cabinets to make another one. That's the main goal here, is try to reuse as much as I can so it's most cost effective and it just keeps the old vibes going. Sure, we'll go with that. But this was completely cluttered. There wasn't studs there. It was just like that the whole way back. This is going to be the new clubhouse. I had an old clubhouse, if you know, you know, that I had to take down because the township didn't like it, because we didn't get a permit for it first, even though it was only a little 8x8 clubhouse maybe. But we were trying to make it bigger, and in the process of that, the township guy found out, then reported it, and then we had to either revert it back to where it was, which was pretty much impossible at that point, or completely dismantle it. So that's what we did. We just said, screw it, we're just going to dismantle the whole thing, do something different with it, because we just left the main platform that it was built on still up there. It's just pretty much rotting away now. So that's what this is going to be, the new clubhouse. Pretty similar, just had couch, tape, TV, stereo, fans, sometimes a refrigerator. Just your basics, basic hangout stuff. So yeah, back to the whole shed itself. Put all the studs in there. This whole board, you see the different color, different type of wood. This stuff's pressure treated though, so it should last a lot longer. But this whole board was pretty much... Well, that didn't work, so we're gonna switch over to the phone. Sorry if the quality's too bad for you. It's Android for you. But where was I? I was showing you the dragonfly. Crazy bug. Going nuts over the lights, but we replaced that board. The bugs were starting to chew through that. Didn't make it the whole way, so it's still pretty solid. There was like one stud here or something that was all chewed up. There was one right here, and then I think right there and right there. Those were all chewed up. There's one right here too, but I just put another one in front of it because it was only a little spot. It wasn't too bad. Reframe this window because it was all rotted out, basically. Reframe this one, or reframe that one. Was going to reframe this one, but it's really not in terrible shape. Other than this baseboard I'll probably replace. Just need to clean it up and trim it out once I get the actual walls up. That one was actually studded already though, so there was at least one wall that had studs. That was it though. That one in the back wall. That was it. So slowly but surely we're making this place a little bit more structural. We are going to raise these cross members up just a little bit, probably right below the first one there, just so you have a little bit more headroom. So if you want to jump around in here, you can, I guess. Don't worry about hitting your head. So this table is pretty much just going to be like a miscellaneous, like small RCs, chainsaws, anything small that you need to work on. Basically, this whole workshop is just temporary. I have no like full intentions of keeping this like a fully functional workshop, but right now I'm really digging the workshop vibe because it reminds me a lot of like grind hard guys and their workshop. It's just a really small shop, closed in, lean-tos, you know it. Basically the same thing, just a lot smaller. We'll have a wood stove for in the winter. Basically what they started on. Eventually I'll get to where they're at and get a nice big garage, but that probably won't be for a while because I don't know where I'd even put it yet. There's plenty of room for it, just don't know where. I'll have to take some trees out. But yeah, this is a workshop, I guess. That's just something to tinker on while I'm up here hanging out with my friends. We can just dick around with shit like this. Gonna be building a drift trike, you already know it. Had this motor laying around forever. Bike was up here. I got some tractor tires. Don't know if I'll use them or not, but pretty much got all the stuff you need other than the axle, rear sprocket, and throttle cable, fuel tank. That's what that is. That'll be a fuel tank for it, but I'm gonna have to wait till the motor's mounted to find out where I want to mount that, because it'll probably be up here. The motor, I want to sit somewhere in there, probably cut these out, put a plate in, maybe try to bend it so it sits flatter, and this sits at more of an angle, I guess. Might just chop that off. I haven't really decided yet. Just started mocking it up, getting some pieces together. I don't know why the forks are backwards, I just realized that. That's kind of funny. The headset's the right way, but the forks aren't. Oh well. That bike was here. Forgot. That BMX bike back there was here. A couple BMX bikes. Kind of cool. I mean, they're really cheap, generic ones, but they're cool BMX bikes because I used to ride BMX a lot. We'll make it quick because there's not much to show. We haven't really touched this place yet. Just took the door off to let it breathe. Just a bunch of junk in here, really. Just from the hoarders. Trying to keep as much as they can for whenever they need to fix something, or I don't know. Previous owners weren't the best people, so we'll just leave it at that. Not a whole lot in here. A couple other weed eaters and old school mowers. Whatever this is. Still have no idea what this is. If anyone knows, let me know. Looks like some kind of like steam cleaner. There's what it's called. Let me know, because I have no idea. On to the next thing. Apple trees. Delicious apples. Grapevine. Most of the grapes are turning to raisins now. Oh, there's a couple. Decent grapes. Nice and juicy. Alright, on to the next. You got driveway. Comes up here. Pull up right in front of the house. Come up here. Park in the garage. Park in front of the garage. Or keep going up around up to my place. That's just the watershed. This is the side of the house. This back here is the kitchen. That's like the sunroom, bedrooms. Pretty basic. It's an old school, like 1800s log cabin style house. So like underneath all the siding, it's actual old school rough logs and stuff. All those good cabin vibes. Here's my mom's garden. Another little garden bed. She's got gardens all over the place now. It's ridiculous. That's pretty much just her scrap pile. This is the garage. Not a lot in here. This place was completely packed. Left to right, bottom, all the way to the top. They had so much like random decorations. This is all from like the previous owner, like the most previous owner. The ones that actually took care of the place. But yeah, she was quite the knick-knack collector, decorative, holiday decorative enthusiast. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that. I don't know what else you'd call it. This was completely packed. This is all just little leftovers and stuff. What was that? I thought I heard something. Fucking squirrel in here or something. I think it's just the floor cracking. Yeah, just stuff everywhere. Just random little dolls. She had a freaking huge doll obsession. All these little baskets and all kinds of old school shit. Stuff we'll probably never use. We got rid of a lot of it though. This whole freaking floor was just covered with stuff. There's clothes hanging. Oh my lord, it was insane. And now we have it nice and cleaned up. Set these desks up here. This is gonna be like the little RC workshop. This is where we got our RCs at right now. It'll be a nice little spot to come up, hang out, play with some fucking toys. 'Cause that's what us grown men are. Just a bunch of boys that still play with toys. But anyhow, that's pretty much it for the garage. On to the next. Another nice perk of the house. We have our own natural spring. Comes from the water tower's water feed. So this is basically the overflow of what fills the water tower that everyone drinks around here. So we get like the freshest water. It's really low right now, even though it just rained. But in the winter, this whole thing fills up. It's gonna be nuts. It's fun to take RCs through. Nice in the summer on those really hot days. That little shed was completely full of trash. Literal trash. That's like what the previous owners used as a dumpster. It was pretty sad. But it's empty now. We're probably just going to tear it down because it's pretty beat up. Not really worth much. We were going to make it into our chicken coop because that's what it was at one point. But we'll probably just build a new one. And we'll have a nice pond right here where it like opens up. We're just going to dam it up here and then have another dam over there. Once it fills up, there will be a spillway that continues the water going. Keeps the water going or whatever. And this is like the only thing we've really accomplished so far. This is our pavilion. Nice little hangout for family gatherings, having friends over for parties, you name it. This place is awesome. You could even camp out here for like a week at a time because you got all your necessities. Own outdoor kitchen with a cook stove. I mean, come on, people. You couldn't ask for anything more. Nothing more would please me. This is literally all I fucking ever want. Nice outdoor hangout area with stereo for entertainment. We'll have all kinds of games, plenty of cookouts. Anytime we want to eat while it's nice out, we'll come up here and cook. That's pretty much how it's been. We've just been coming up here every weekend. It's nice. That's when we have our dinner. Alright, I guess I'm going to wrap up the video now. Not much else to really go over. I mean, I could go inside the house, but we haven't touched it yet. I'll probably just make that a whole separate video because this one's already too long. But yeah, here's the bottom of the motocross turn. That'll be nice. For now, it'll do. It's a place you can call camp at least. Come up, hang out, shoot shit with your buddies, shoot guns, drink beer. What else could you ask for, I guess? But alright, here's my update. Hope you guys understand why I haven't been uploading. It's just been so much work up here. Just non-stop. But alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.